Chapter 6, Creating Harmony in Your Home. As I mentioned earlier, when my kids were little, my house was a complete disaster. I always struggled with having an organized home because while I prefer things to be in order and clean, I also wanted my home to be an environment where my kids could create and play, slide mattresses down the stairs, and they would tie blankets to the banisters and make hammocks, paint, have Nerf gun wars, make forts. My top priority was not to have a clean house or impress anybody. The only people who came over were all the kids from the neighborhood. My house was their favorite place to be, and I liked that. That was my top priority. But I found that just creating a little more order and a little more harmony changed how I felt. It changed my peace. When there are pillows, mattresses, blankets, projects, forts, laundry, Hot Wheels, and dolls, you get the idea, scattered everywhere, it doesn't create the most peaceful situation for mom. And I believe that creating a more peaceful situation for mom at home is the next secret to attracting the relationship you want. Because peace attracts peace. Joy attracts joy. Orderliness attracts orderliness. And I'm no feng shui expert, and I'm not an interior designer, so I found an expert. Your home either nurtures and supports you, or it depletes your energy and leaves you exhausted, says interior designer and founder and CEO of Home and Harmony Lifestyle, Krista O'Leary. In today's frenetic world, it's more important than ever to create a calm and peaceful space that allows you to recharge. So when my home was in disarray to the point that I would have died if someone popped in unexpectedly, I stayed single. When I slowly but surely just tidied up each room just a little bit, my entire world changed. It doesn't matter if you live in a one-bedroom apartment or 5,000 square foot home. Creating harmony in your home helps you feel more stable, more calm. It doesn't matter where you live. It only matters how it feels. So it doesn't matter if you own your home or rent an apartment. It matters how your space looks and feels to you when you walk into each room. And the reason why I've dedicated an entire chapter to this is because of the impact organizing your home makes on your overall well-being. Your home might be pretty organized, but you might not realize the effect that seemingly trifle things in your environment have on your ability to feel joy and feel calm and peace. If you really took inventory and organized room by room, just a little closet by closet, little by little, you might feel like $1 million. By taking these actions, you're visualizing your future, acting as if you have the relationship of your dreams right now. The act of demonstrating them prompts you to visualize the life that you're actively creating with every item you pick up, every time you donate, every drawer you organize. Remember the first time John played with the kids in the backyard? That scene I had played in my mind 1,000 times before it came my reality. This is the same thing. Not only does like attract like, order attracts order, calm attracts calm, but visualizing the life you're creating by taking these actions is how that life eventually manifests. And the question I asked myself was this: if the man of my dreams knocked on the door right now, would I shut the door and make him wait while I cleaned up? So if you're going to make the love of your life wait while you tidy up, what would you be doing? I really didn't want my soulmate to stand outside on the porch waiting for me to get my shit together, so I decided to do it before he showed up. Like always attracts like. So if there's disarray in your home, you'll attract disarray. If you live amid mess and disorganization, you'll attract mess. Mess equals stress. This is a quote from an unknown author. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. Harmony. What's the definition of harmony? The quality of forming a pleasing and consistent whole. So definition of harmony isn't perfect or fancy or brand new. It just means something is pleasing to you. So I walked into each room of my house and I just found items or areas that no longer served me. I took inventory of every room, just noticed how I felt when I was in that particular space. And I just went on a mission to make small, teeny tiny changes here and there when I could until I felt calm and peaceful in each room. I asked myself, what is it I wish for different? And then just made small adjustments. Perhaps you have pillows from 1987 that were on the couch when you and your last teacher were sitting there. I didn't have any throw pillows. And I had had the same couch from my first marriage, but I couldn't afford new furniture. So I got a few new throw pillows and throw blankets. Perhaps you have old bedding that an ex-teacher slept on. Those things need to go because it keeps you in the past. You need to get rid of anything that reminds you of a past relationship. The old, stale energy from that past needs to be removed from your home in order to allow room for new energy. Surrounding yourself with things you love and things that bring you joy is one way to create that energy that attracts more love, more joy. Another way to clear out the energy from the past is by burning dried sage leaves. You can even order them on Amazon now. Burning sage is a method that's been used for thousands of years to clear away the energy from the past that no longer serves you. I say if burning sage helps get all the bad juju out so you can create a home environment of love, calm, peace, and joy where your husband is dying to come over, then why not try it? Doesn't it feel exciting to think of it that way? Like you're creating this little abode that's pleasing to you, and he's about to knock on the front door because he's so excited to see you and see where you live. Oh yeah, don't forget your bookshelves like I did. Who even dusts bookshelves? Only psychopaths. I already mentioned that. It wasn't until John, who told me about that other lady's dusty shitstorm, that I ran home and took off every book off the shelves and cleaned every single one. I have a lot of bookshelves, a lot of books. And I'm glad he said that. I wasn't cleaning for John. I just wasn't aware of dust on bookshelves. And I just wanted to make sure that when I looked at my home, I felt amazing. And when my future husband walked in the front door, I would just be proud and excited. I would just still be in calm and joy and not frenetic and crazed. And as a side note, what's hilarious is that when he did come over 3 weeks later, he thought my house was messy. It hurt me. I don't know why. It was the cleanest it had ever been. But instead of judging, he just hired a housekeeper to help me clean. Incredible, right? He hired a housekeeper to help me. Couldn't believe it. It's awesome. However, consider the source. He lived alone in a 4-bedroom house that was literally empty. He was moved out of his marital home with only his clothes. He didn't bring anything besides his clothes. His fridge was completely empty except for 1 bottle of sriracha and a few bottles of water. Legit. There wasn't anyone or anything in his house that created a mess, and he still had a housekeeper come every other week. There wasn't anything to clean. He must have been the easiest client they've ever had until my circus moved in, that is. Okay. First, create a sanctuary for yourself. My kids have been sleeping in my room for years. I loved it so much. I had a twin mattress at the foot of my bed, and I had put it there years before because we had family coming to visit, and our guests all slept in my kids' rooms. And so they all slept with me when they were visiting, and somehow I just kept it that way after they left. And that's where we'd read books. I'd read books to them every night, and they would take turns sleeping in my bed. So one night, my daughter would sleep in the bed with me, and then my son would sleep on the floor at the foot of my bed. And the next night, they would switch. And I even brought our only television up to my bedroom, and we'd watch movies in there in our big, happy family bed. Actually, they would watch, and I would fall asleep. Even though part of me wished it could stay that way forever because it was so special and it was so fun, I knew that in my gut that if I wanted to attract a husband, I needed to make physical space for him in my room and in my bed. That space was meant for him. So if my kids are in my bedroom sleeping in my room, well, there would be no room for a husband to be in bed with me. It's impossible to manifest something if there's no room at the inn. Literally. I also knew that I needed to create a space just for mom. My own sanctuary where I could sit or I could relax, I could read, I could journal, prepare for the future lovemaking that would be happening up in there, hopefully. So I got my children new bedspreads, rearranged their rooms, cleaned them out, organized them, and it'd just be like a fun celebration, moving back into their own beds. So when I first started, as you can imagine, my bedroom looked like a daycare. Cars, toys, DVD covers, kids' books stacked on every surface. The twin mattress on the floor, TV on the stand at the foot of my bed. So I got the TV down to the front room and the kids' stuff in their rooms. And we still read books every night in my bed, but then I'd leave the books in their rooms and not in my sanctuary. So your sanctuary should be that one place that's all about the things that you love. The first thing I did was put candles around the room and around my bathtub. And I got a new lamp for the corner of my room, so the light was just right. Articles about feng shui suggest that we have 2 of everything, as if he's already lying in your bed. He's already living there and has everything he needs as if he's already there. So I made sure that everything was in pairs. 2 bedside tables, 2 lamps, 2 pillows, 2 towels. One for me, one for him. I put a comfy chair in the corner so I could read and journal, and I added a little side table for my tea and my books. And I had a chase lounge in the other corner for 2. And I got all clutter out of sight. I bought a framed print of Michelangelo's creation and hung it over my bed. And when I look at it, it reminds me of Italy and my trip to the Sistine Chapel. We got to sing in the Sistine Chapel. And it reminds me that we can create anything we want to create. Oh, in my book, it says I still have it. It's in my guest room. But actually, I sold my house furnished, and it's there, which is okay. I have new artwork now. On my other wall, I hung a framed photo of a home overlooking the ocean to remind me of another place that I love. And it was in our bedroom for years and years and years and years. We both love the ocean, and we've always wanted to have a home by the water. Maybe someday we will. Maybe we will. I didn't redecorate my entire house on the same day. I just buy little things here and there, and gradually my room became my own little private oasis. I played music, read books, took time for myself, and which is so important. Because I didn't attract love until I created my own space, my own oasis, to do what I needed and give myself the gift of that self-care, that time. And it was completely ready for 2. The most powerful jeans in the universe. So I used to have very small, very tight jeans hanging in my closet that I could no longer zip. The salesperson most likely told me they looked good because she didn't have the next size up in stock. They only fit during the time when my marriage had just ended. I ran an hour a day, and my diet consisted of coffee, Diet Coke, and wine mostly. Good times. I was telling my therapist one day that every time I walked into my closet and saw those jeans, I felt depressed. I felt horrible because I was no longer the skinniest I had ever been. I felt angry that I could not wear them. They were really expensive and the only jeans I had ever had that were a size 28. She said, "Those are the most powerful jeans in the universe." And I was taken aback. Like the simple act of standing in close proximity to a pair of jeans caused me to feel angry and depressed and upset. I had never considered that fact. So if all it takes is a pair of jeans to make me feel angry, then I'm screwed. This is just something I wasn't aware of and something that needed to be released. And that's the best news ever, is that you can release it. And when we take inventory of our homes and our lives, we identify like what's out of sync with what we truly want, we become more aware of how we feel around certain things. I immediately gave those jeans away and only wore the jeans that fit me. I never looked back. I never felt bad when I went into my closet after that. But I wanted to hold on to them and lose weight so I could wear them again. Here's why I wouldn't do that. They don't make you feel good. If it's hard for you to let things go, then just put them in a box in your garage. And I also read this somewhere, and I don't know why I remembered it because I don't have problems giving stuff away. But I understand that a lot of people do. So this article suggested boxing it up, getting it out of your sight, and then revisiting it 6 months later. So if you can't remember what was in there and you didn't need it for the past 6 months, don't even open it. You can just donate it then. That was pretty great advice. And maybe your clothes all fit fine, but maybe you have things that you haven't worn in a while. I don't think you'll wear them if you haven't worn them in a year or 2. And if I were you, I'd just donate anything you don't wear. Make room for his clothes. An orderly house isn't something that happens one Saturday afternoon. An orderly house isn't something that happens one Saturday afternoon. It's just creating a focus on doing little things around your house that put a smile on your face. Creating harmony in your home isn't something to be stressed out about. It's not a big, huge project you have to do. It's just about removing things that maybe cause a little stress. A calm, orderly home is an ongoing gift you give yourself. No one can completely thrive in an unorganized environment. Tell the truth about each of your spaces. You don't feel good in your kitchen and can't find things easily. You might be causing stress that you don't even know you're causing just because things aren't in order, just because you can't find something. My Granny Pearl, my brilliant granny, said everything has one place. And she was a genius. She raised 5 kids and her house was always so perfect and so clean. And there was no place I'd rather be. And I'm one of 11 kids, and growing up, I longed for order. There was none. There's no way any parent can keep up with the constant mess that 11 kids can create. I don't think you can imagine the 24/7 chaos of a family that size unless you grew up in a big family. In the mornings, you couldn't even lock the bathroom door if you were in there without getting yelled at because someone always needed to come in. There'd be one sister in the shower, one on the toilet, one at the sink, doing her hair, another sink, someone else was there brushing teeth, simultaneously at all times. You could never lock the door in the upstairs bathroom because we all shared the same bathroom. And I loved the respite of my granny's clean, orderly home. And as a side bonus, I'm pretty sure she spent an entire week baking cookies for us before we came to visit. I mean, there was cans and cans, dozens and dozens and dozens of cookies. It was amazing. So little by little, I just organized things so that each thing had one place where it always went, always. So I always knew where to find it. And I consciously did anything that made my life easier or simpler. I just took one drawer at a time, one closet at a time, one room at a time. I just did something every day that makes you feel a little sense of accomplishment and helps you feel a little more respite in your own home. I felt like a superwoman when I cleaned it and organized one closet under the stairs. I still remember that I spent a couple of hours organizing that closet so much that the kids started playing in there. It was a new playroom. They couldn't do that before because it was filled with junk I didn't need. So I just decided I needed to feel like Superwoman in order to attract my Superman. And I had fun organizing room by room, drawer by drawer. It was a need. I needed to feel that way. It wasn't a wish, it wasn't an option. I just envisioned with every accomplishment that my husband was going to come home any minute and I would show him the before and after and he'd be delighted. And that made me feel delighted. That's the whole point. And as sure as shit, one day he did. What's funny is that when we all moved into his empty house, I left almost everything I owned behind. The mover said, "You're leaving more than you're moving." Yep. Bye-bye. Okay, laundry. I hate laundry. I loathe it entirely. Loathe entirely. Cringe. I don't know why some chores bother me and some don't in the least. I don't mind doing dishes, but laundry was another story. I used to have this beautiful oversized cheetah print chase lounge in my living room. And because it always had piles of laundry on it, my friends called it the cheetah laundry couch. We still call it that. I used to feel anxiety about laundry piling up. And then one day, my wise cousin Susie told me she just does one load of laundry every day. It's just part of her daily routine. Therefore, no big deal. Doesn't pile up. Just do one a day. So I started doing one load a day, and it created less stress. It wasn't overwhelming. Felt accomplished. And we always had clean clothes. It's a win-win. So in my old age, I got smart and bought the biggest fucking washer and dryer they make. So I only have to do laundry every couple of weeks. And my kids have been doing their own laundry for years now. So, Karen, why are you talking about laundry in a book about manifesting a husband? Well, I'll tell you. Disarray and disorder attract disarray and disorder into your life in all areas of your life. So if you're frustrated and overwhelmed about dirty clothes, if you have piles of dirty clothes, you'll most likely attract teachers who don't have a shit together yet. Do you really want to go over to a man's house and see his dirty underwear on the floor? I don't think so. So if the man of your dreams were to walk in the door right now, you would feel a little embarrassed if he were to see your version of the cheetah laundry couch, then that's how you know if you changed it, you'd feel amazing. Whenever you feel unenthused about, that's your sign to make a small adjustment and change the energy in that space. Hone in on anything that allows you to feel calmer and prouder and take those small, teeny actions. Again, creating harmony as your home is the gift you give yourself. Use that time spent organizing and doing chores to just listen to your love playlist or watch a YouTube video. Use that time to reconnect with friends and family you haven't talked to in a while. There are always plus sides to everything on your to-do list. You may think you hate doing laundry, but it still needs to be done. Getting something done feels good. Listening to your favorite comedian or laughing while you're getting something done feels even better. Listening to a book or a podcast or learning while you're getting something done feels even better. Or just talking to a friend, reconnecting with a friend while you're doing something. It's awesome. I just knew that I needed to walk into each room of my home and just feel happy about it. wanted to feel the energy was good and calm. Even though it was still an old rental with nasty carpets, with all my new rugs on it, I knew I needed to just shift my thinking and take what I had and make it as beautiful as I could. So I felt peace in my home. And I kept envisioning myself and my sweetheart in my kitchen, making dinner together. Isn't it exciting to envision yourself and your future beloved sitting on your couch, holding hands with your legs tied up together with his, like watching a movie? Like envision him walking into your bedroom and feel all that excitement that comes with new love. I just kept at it until I could open every closet and smile because it was just in order. It wasn't perfect, just in order. Made me feel calm and happy. I just kept working on it. I could open each drawer and smile because I knew where everything was. And you could walk into your dining room and smile because you envision Thanksgiving dinner there with his family and yours all together. Nothing has to be fancy. It's not about anyone else. It's about how you feel when you're in that room and creating that energy that makes you feel excited to show your future partner every aspect of your life because you're proud of it and you want to share it with him. You create your own joy. You create happiness in your current situation and current surroundings. If there's something that you don't like, just get it out of there and sage the whole place. Now, in the printed version of the book, it does have a checklist, and I have a sanctuary checklist also on my website you can download. And if you need some help with it, I just have a big, huge checklist that might help you if you want to use that. Other than that, I'll see you in the next chapter.